An act I learned as a child was to hold my breath if I am in a car that is cruising past a cemetery. I don't remember who told me, but I remember it was something my friends and I would follow religiously as children, no matter who was driving or where we were going. And if the windows in the car were down, it would be mass panic to roll them all up before those wheels crested at the front of the cemetery. Back then, they were the manual crank windows, the ones that took all of my scrawny kid strength to get closed. But in those moments, they always managed to close in the nick of time. I'm not sure any of us knew why we were doing it. I certainly didn't. Regardless, it's a practice I've kept up even though my 30th birthday is right around the corner. It wasn't like I had big plans for my birthday, but it would have been nice to be able to celebrate it. I remember making the concrete decision when I got my own license that I would keep playing the game for nothing if not for myself. Sometimes the practice seemed silly to acknowledge, but my mindset had always been I'd rather be safe than sorry. If other people are in the car, I'm discreet about it. Much less fanfare than when I was a kid, just one large inhale as the tires continue to glide on the road. I casually roll the windows up like it's no big deal. Maybe like I saw a bug I didn't want to crawl inside the car. But it isn't always feasible to hold your breath in time. I mean, I don't always see the cemetery until I am smack in the middle of it. I immediately stop breathing when I realize what I am driving by. But at that point, it already feels too late. Until 2 days ago, I didn't know the consequences. Now I do. You see, it's because I moved to a new town that all of this happened. I didn't know that the back roads that led to the craft store would contain so many cemeteries. It was in my nature to simply avoid these types of roads, to take the highway even if there was more traffic. I was alone on my way to pick up the supplies for one of my many craft projects. I should have turned the car around when I saw the road that I was going to be on for 7 miles, containing nothing but curvy, grassy open space. It wasn't like there was anyone else in the car to question my actions, and I should have known as I made my way down the winding road that there would be multiple cemeteries, but I told myself not to be ridiculous. A kid's game should not keep me from driving down the fastest route to somewhere. My other mistake was leaving my windows open. At this point, it was an act of defiance. I knew there would be cemeteries, but refused to acknowledge them before they arrived. Granted, these days windows went up much faster with electronics, but apparently not fast enough. I didn't even know anything was wrong until the next day. I woke up groggy, wiping the sleep from my eyes, as I stumbled down the hallway to the bathroom. My eyes were bulging and bloodshot, as if something had been pressing on the inside of my skull, trying to get out through my eyes. A thin trickle of dried blood from some time in the night caked itself onto my neck. I followed the line back up to my right ear, as if something had been trying to force itself out that way. My nose was swollen, and the skin of my face was hot to the touch, as if fighting off some kind of infection. But before I go any further, I need to get back to the crux of it, the actual event. So, like I said, I was driving on an unfamiliar road with that familiar itch creeping up my back. The one that told me there would be a cemetery around every corner. The reason I didn't see it right away was because my phone distracted me, and before you sneer at me, I know I shouldn't be looking at my phone when I drive. But I just happened to be waiting for an important work update. The ironic thing was, it wasn't even the update I was waiting for. It was my sister in a crisis. She's always in a crisis, but usually her crises don't impact me as much as this. They usually don't transfer over like a curse waiting to impregnate the next person. I clicked on the text to see a wall of blue with lots of exclamation points and angry face emojis. This is the reason I didn't realize my little red car had passed over the plane. I wasn't even reading the text. I closed out of the green message app almost immediately. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something dire, something that actually needed to be taken care of at that moment. It's hard for me to describe to you the surge of fear that traveled down my back when I glanced back at the road. Of course, I stopped breathing immediately. Yes, I pulled up on all 4 window buttons as soon as my fingers unlatched from the wheel. It was over in a mere seconds. One moment, I was in the middle of driving by a cemetery, and in the next, the moment passed. The sun blazed into the car and started cooking everything. I had no way to escape. Even though the moment was over, I didn't want to roll the windows back down, as if I could gain favor from the ghost if I just kept following the rules. But obviously, I had to take in a breath at some point and blow it out in the next. I continued to breathe and cook in the car, my air conditioning temporarily broken. I had all the tools to replace my blower motor, the part that shit the bed last week. But since it was a nice day, I figured it could wait. So that's the reason for the sweat trickling down my back. Pure laziness. But I knew I couldn't be too careful and rolled the windows back down. I eased my car around a bend, only to face with another cemetery. This one I could prepare for. I could see it a little bit ahead. I was able to take the deep breath in that I needed before driving by. I didn't even mind that I was roasting like a rotisserie anymore, because I was safe. The closed windows and the lack of breath kept me safe. Would you think I was lying if I told you I encountered another cemetery a mile and a half down the same road? I swear it was the last one, but I didn't inhale any fresh air. None circulating car air until I parked and threw my door open 15 minutes later. Those breaths were some of the most satisfying I'd ever taken. The fall air hit my nostrils in such a cool, clean way. Maybe that was my mistake. I was too greedy with the fall air. The text that ruined my life. I know some of you must be curious. It was because her current boyfriend, the guy she'd been on 2 dates with, didn't like cats. Could you even call someone your boyfriend after 2 dates? She lived alone with 2 cats, Cinnamon and Sugar. So clearly this relationship could never work out. She was outraged that anyone could hate cats, especially her dream guy. Well, I guess he wasn't her dream guy anymore. By the time I checked out the craft store, I mostly forgot about my escapade on the drive there. Like I said, I didn't realize the consequences. Up until yesterday morning, it was just a silly little kid's game. And yes, I answered my sister's text with all the correct platitudes, like how dare he, and you're too good for him. When I think back on it, I did take a different way home, whether consciously or subconsciously is up for debate. There weren't any cemeteries on the way back, at least not any I saw. That was 2 days ago, almost 48 hours to the hour. Most of my hair has fallen out. I'm typing with one finger, the only one left with a nail attached. At least it's my pointed finger. Small miracles and all that. The rest fell off last night. I found them clinging to my bed sheets, toenails too. Those are gone. I tried to voice to text with my computer, only to find I don't have a voice anymore. All that came out was strange gasping sounds. I guess it makes sense. When I looked in the mirror, my chest was sunken in, my neck shriveled, all the folds of my trachea and esophagus visible beneath the thin layers of skin. I'm starting to leave blood smears on my keyboard. I don't think this nail is going to last much longer. I guess I should get to my point soon. I think it's too far gone for me to ask for help. So I guess this has turned into one of those warning posts, you know? The ones that tell you to watch out. Always look behind the corner. Turn on the lights before bed. In this case, always check for cemeteries. Never take your eyes off the road. There are so many questions that must be left unanswered. What about the air conditioning or the heat? Can the ghost get in if you turn those on? Was it my open window, or do the windows not matter? Is it all cemeteries? All ghosts? Do you have to be driving? I don't have time to answer any of these. I'm already infected, possessed, haunted, or whatever this is. You can test all these theories if you want. I'm not sure I recommend it. Another tooth tumbled out of my mouth moments ago. I think I only have 2 left now. It's hard to keep my jaw closed. I'm trying to prevent the blood from trickling out. It's not working. The keyboard is slick now. My breaths are shallower. It's like I can't catch my breath. A bit ironic, as if the ghosts are still stealing the air from my lungs. Like I'm still driving past that cemetery. I think I only have a few more moments left, just enough to post this. I wonder what my family will think when I don't answer their calls. I wonder how long it will take them to find my body. I wonder if I will have a body to leave behind at all.